Fortnite has actually been listening to all of the hate and all of the criticism that OG Season 6 has been getting. So if you guys don't know, there has been a lot of hate around the community, a lot of criticism, I should say, around Fortnite OG Season 6. It was released in a state where it seems like they were not prepared for it to come out for players. There was barely any promotion, there was a lot of bugs, there's still a ton of bugs, inconsistencies, and inaccuracies inside of the game right now. If you want to know everything that's wrong in the game right now, you can click in the top right of your screen here. You may have already came from this video, but just a couple of hours ago, they just released this article that basically is them saying, hey, we've been hearing everything that you're saying, and we're going to be working actively to fix it. It's really funny because this article starts and has the title of saying, putting the OG back in OG Season 6, and I thought that was really funny because we're not even 24 hours into this being out yet, and they're already saying, you know, like, we need to fix this and actually make it OG. It just came out, there's already enough issues to say something like that. But this is a pretty lengthy article detailing everything that they're going to be doing. They started off by saying, we've seen your feedback coming in towards the end of OG Season 5, and Season 6 fell a bit short of the classic Fortnite experience we all remember and have been excited to play again. Let's talk about some things that we're doing. So they first off detail with, these changes are now live in OG Season 6. So everything I'm about to say is stuff that just happened in game. So they released a little bit of a hot fix. There's no downtime or anything. They just fixed a lot of stuff. First off, they fixed moving in storms. They said, we're restoring storm values closer to the original Chapter 1 Season 6 experience. That means moving zones in tighter circles in the in-game. Rotation should feel similar to 2018 again, and that's really interesting. The storm has been something that's been an issue in Fortnite OG for quite a while. They've had a few times where they've fixed it and then it's been broken again, and now they're fixing it yet again. It's just really interesting how hard of a time they have making it exactly perfect to Fortnite OG, and I think that's really crazy to me. Now, additionally, they said, and this is one of the changes that I really would have rather them just kept in the game, but I understand it for accuracy purposes. They said nerfed shotgun swapping, aka double pumping. We've removed the ability to swap between shotguns without a cooldown. We kept shotgun swaps around longer to enable fun double pump gameplay and are returning shotgun fights to feel authentic to the OG experience. Now, this is one of those situations where it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have the entirety of OG, like in the entire community, complaining that it's not accurate and then be like, oh, but I want double pump to stay. It's either it's all accurate or there are some inaccuracies and they'll just build up from there. I'm not too upset about this. Double pump was a lot of fun to use, but they did say back in the day when OG first started that they were going to remove it, so it makes sense for it to be removed. It's a little bit late, but better late than never. Now, in terms of OG weapon balancing, and we talked about this in my last video, there was a few weapons that people were looking forward to that weren't revealed on drop. And Fortnite has done this before, where they'll drop everything at the beginning of a season, and then the community will get bored saying that there's nothing being added, and it gets really stale. So this time, they're trying to spread it out a little bit more, which is not what they have done, like, historically with the OG seasons. They said the minigun has been unvaulted, which I believe that was a first thing that was, like, introduced around this time, or that was a big, like, focal point of Season 6 back in the day. They said we've also adjusted pump shotguns and hand cannons to match the OG feel. Not exactly sure what that means. That probably just has something to do with the damage or the damage multiplier or something like that. So those have been fixed to how they were back in the day. They said chests were fixed yesterday and should no longer have a chance of missing weapons. That's one of the things that I didn't mention in my video earlier today. Sometimes when people would open chests, literally just nothing would come out of them and they would disappear. It was a really weird glitch, but that has been fixed. And they also said pistol bullet spread was fixed in yesterday's patch. So just right here in the first couple like sections of this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fixes already very, very quickly. I want to like give a second to admire how Fortnite has been, you know, being really proactive with changes and things that the community has been asking for. They made an article like this for the regular BR mode when they unvaulted the Hollow Twister and the MK7 assault rifle, as well as the Frenzy auto shotgun, explaining why they were doing it. They were trying to keep it fresh, and it's really nice to see this type of communication from them. They also said that apples and mushrooms now restore 5 HP / shield instead of 10. This was something that I thought was pretty cool. I kind of liked giving us 10, but you know, it is what it is, just to make it more accurate. And then they also said Havoc stones were rebalanced. They said we've reduced how much damage to structures you deal while under the Havoc stone effect, and these should feel more fair now. We've also reduced the Havoc effect duration from 45 seconds to 30 seconds. Now, I've heard from people that these were a little bit overpowered, so I'm glad that they did that. I still think it's a little bit weird that we have like a nitro effect effect inside of OG. Like, they're making all of this stuff OG, but then they don't bring back the regular shadow stones. I was actually looking forward to those. I know there were a lot of issues with them back in the day. There were some game-breaking bugs and things like that Fortnite had to deal with, so that makes sense as well. Now we're going to go into what Fortnite said they are going to be doing in the future. So there are still a lot of stuff, not just this. Like, that just goes to show how many issues there were with Fortnite OG, from graphics to inaccuracies, stats, etc. Just about every gun was messed up in one way or another in terms of being accurate to how it was back in the day. So first of all, quad crashers are going to be unvaulted next week. We're bringing back everyone's favorite unintentional flying vehicle in next week's update. So next week, OG is going to get a huge update, probably on the 9th when Fortnite Mares does come out. And like I said in my last video that I posted earlier today, I expect them to actually bring out the trailer for OG Season 6 then, along with, you know, all of the other promotional material. So hopefully that is what they do. If they don't, I will be very surprised, but hopefully we'll get a trailer, some more key art, as well as some more images and promotional material for it then. What's really cool too is that the quad crasher is going to be able to fly like how it was back in the day. I remember that was something a lot of people were upset about when OG came back the first time in November 2023, is that the quad crashers didn't really behave how they did back in the day. And that frustrated a lot of people because there were a lot of really cool clips that people had, you know, no scoping people, sniping people off of them in the air. So I'm very excited to see those return as well. Now, they said some of the bugs that they're squatching in future updates, so not necessarily in the next update on the 9th, but maybe later on. They said reducing the fog that's appeared on the island after the recent change. POI inaccuracies will be fixed. That's something we talked about too. There were some buildings that were in the wrong place. There were some like floating chairs somewhere. It was really weird. I'm not sure how stuff like that happens, but I'm sure just some small mishaps kind of messed that stuff up. But also fog is going to be changed as well. This is something that's also been a recurring issue in Fortnite OG, is the fog. There's too much of it, or there's not enough, or it's just not accurate, along with the lighting. Hopefully they look into that as well and actually get it fixed for good. They also said that they're going to be fixing incorrect audio effects. Now, the only one that I've noticed so far is that sometimes the mining sound effect will be a little bit off. I don't know if that's just me. That may just be me. I have no idea. But also, one of the glaring ones that I know is wrong is the SCAR has the wrong sound effect. It has just the regular AR sound effect when you like pull it out in your inventory, and it shouldn't be different, like separate from the regular stuff. So that's pretty cool as well. And then they also said correcting the OG Season 6 Umbrella's locker name and description. If you guys didn't watch my video, the OG Season 6 Umbrella actually has the like regular Chapter 1 Season 5 description and name, which is really weird. That was kind of a bizarre bug there that I thought was actually pretty funny. But something that I want you guys to keep in mind is that all of these issues that they've listed here is stuff that people have specifically brought up. They didn't mention anything that I hadn't heard about yet. So this is stuff that everybody has been pointing out, stuff that I talked about in my video, stuff that leakers posted on Twitter, specifically stuff that AliJax has investigated because he's like the king of OG right now and figuring all of that stuff out. They should honestly hire him just so he can get it all accurate. I'm not really sure how all of this stuff gets wrong with Fortnite OG, but it is very refreshing to see Fortnite actually listening to us when it comes to OG. And we've had moments like this before, but all it's going to take is for Fortnite to have one more update that messes it all up and completely reverts it back to how it was before. So what we need is elongated, like sustained accuracy inside of the OG mode for people to actually trust that Fortnite can handle this the correct way. Let me know what you guys think about these changes down below in the comments. Drop a like on today's video. You watched all the way to the end. You must have enjoyed, so drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. I make videos like these every single day. Use code ProzeroYT, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.